Welcome back to Money Wire Work, everyone. We're going to cover Tesla today, where I think it's headed. Now, we did talk about Tesla recently in the past and how we had a short position open right around this price action of 186 or so. I don't know my exact position off the top of my head, but it's around where this floor is, and the floor fell through, anticipating that it was likely to do so. Why I thought it was likely to do so is because if you look at this pattern right here, it was very much forming just like how this one was, and we were just waiting for that downturn to come, and with earnings missed expectations on some aspects, and there we got that drop, that gap down. So if we bring up the VRVP right now, which is going to measure the price action in relation to the volume, we have the floor here, and you can see there's a high amount of volume here. Now there is a little bit of support right here just because of that previous low. And if we zoom out a little bit, we can see that there is a little bit of volume right here, but it's just hanging on, and actually the price action as of right now is below that. So we could look to see more downside, at least in my opinion. That's where I think it's going. The S&P 500 is overbought. Other tech tickers are overbought, like Apple and Nvidia. We talked about those earlier too. So that's really what we're looking for. If we zoom out a little bit to see the grand scheme of things with the VRVP and where it's headed, we could very easily see a drop down to 146, and that would be a good price target. You know, if you're scaled in, maybe you want to start scaling out at about 146, but don't be surprised if we actually do rally back up to this floor and retest it one more time before we go down. One thing we had right here, if we zoom into this previous pattern, so this previous pattern, once we got that big impulsive move to the downside, it pretty much continued. Now you could make the case, if we're comparing patterns, that there was right here a little bit of a rally to retest that moving average before it went back down. So you could make a case. If we zoom into the Biogo multi-MA, the moving averages, we could see a retest of these red moving averages before we head down. So if you're in Tesla and you're using a similar setup that I am, what you're looking for is a couple things. One, you're looking for a continuation of these red moving averages, and we are below this 100-day moving average, which is a good sign for going short. And you want to follow the TSI. Right now it's red, and you want to track it all the way down until it starts correcting, or until you hit your price target, whatever works for you. So we are not we're not oversold at this point. So there is more potential downside. So the thing with Tesla, especially in the past couple of years, it's been dangerous to short Tesla. I feel like the environment is a little bit different now than it was in 2020, 2021. And even in a better part of 2022. So it's a little bit safer to short Tesla than it has been in the past. But again, there's a lot of retail that just love Tesla, and there's a lot of institutions that know that, and they're very likely to bounce back in and just do some trading and going long. And again, everything is dependent on the S&P 500, what the Fed is doing, interest rates, all of those things. So you have to adjust quickly. You cannot wait for any other person, any other YouTuber to give you advice. This is just to help and just to learn, and it's for entertainment purposes and to track my opinion of the market. So do I think it is still a good time to get into Tesla? It's a little bit more risky than it was pre-earnings, but I do think there is still downside to come. And as we said in a previous video, there is this gap right here from about 158 to about 143 if you're not including the wicks. If including the wicks, it's a little bit smaller, 154 to about 147. So you could definitely play that. One thing to maybe play it a little bit more safe is you can open a credit spread, and to give yourself a little bit more time. You can make money as long as the price action is even just moving sideways or even up a little bit. But keep in mind this gap down, if we do rally, we could end up seeing this gap fill up, and we could end up seeing a pretty high green day. So things are a lot dependent on the market, macroeconomic trends and things like that, but that is my opinion of Tesla. If you like to see more, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.